Are you ready, Aaron?
Same. You're not ready? You're not ready? I'm ready. Sweet. We're ready to go. Okay, and with that being
Average thing.
That's right in itself.
that's what I was trying to do and you interrupted me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to lead right into it. I was like, okay, and with that.
All right.
But no, that was organic and natural, and now it's not.
All right.
Way to blow it.
Oh no!
Why are you going? Oh no,
Oh,
Mr.
man.
Johnson. Does that take you back
The
quite a bit?
OG, man.
Way back in the day. We're
Oh
talking,
my gosh!
and I guarantee you, almost 100%.
100.
Yes, almost 100%. Almost 100. Not 100. Almost 100%. Something that probably was said at that time in those early episodes. Now, if brought into the modern culture
Oh,
and the modern way
gosh.
we talk, people would get beyond
Butthurt.
upset, beyond kill them all, beyond cancel, beyond just the crazy of it all. Oh wait, I can't say that word. Let's go back and re-record the whole thing. No, just kidding.
And that's just what was on the recordings.
You have no idea how true a statement that is. Let me rephrase that. That's just on what made it to the public.
Right. No,
For archival purposes,
you've got a lot of other dirt.
I have a lot of stuff. Let me just put that way on all of us.
Yeah,
And
that's great.
I will one day give that to Amy as a gift. Be like, use this to get what you want, Amy. You
Josh.
have the power. And one day to your wife, I will go, use this to get Aaron to do what you want.
That could
You
be bad.
have the
Oh
power.
no! Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Why'd you have to say that? It made me think of something that happened at work today. A coworker got married last week,
Okay.
and we're all celebrating today in the conference room, and we got lunch together, and then thought, it's like people should get married more often here so we could celebrate more. And then they're like, oh, who's next? And then
They all look
I
at
kind
you.
of looked at it, and I was like, no, stop.
They all go, Aaron.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, Aaron.
Nope.
Which is funny because what just went out last week was part 1 of Aaron's book club of what he must be if he wants to marry my daughter, which I found completely hilarious going back through it and listening and going,
Yeah.
but Aaron doesn't have any intention of getting married anytime soon. But yet, here we are
reading this book.
and he's talking about like, oh yeah, to be a good husband and that. And if you haven't listened to it, go ahead and listen to it. We cover the first, I believe it's 6 or 7 chapters
6, I believe,
of the book. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
6 or 7 chapters of the book.
Yeah. Either way.
And part 2 will be coming out shortly, as we were talking about when to put that into the rotation in the schedule, as well as Aaron announcing if he wants to continue this and do another book, or if this is a one-time experiment for Aaron, Mr. Aaron Johnson boy over here.
Reading.
I know. Reading for Aaron is just such a marvelous
It's
thing.
a challenge, man.
Why is it a challenge?
Besides trying to just pick up the Bible and read that, reading stuff outside of that's like, ugh.
Just imagine once you have a professional career, you read for fun, you read the Bible, and you also have to read for professional development to learn and grow and take certifications and continuing education and all that.
Yeah, it's probably reading's good. Reading
So,
is good.
It's a good skill to have, and it's good to know how to read quickly and understand thoroughly
Yeah.
what you read without having to go, and the big cat jumped over the river.
What's a big cat though? Like, what does that mean?
Make an inference. You'll have to read the rest of the book for context. But, being able to, not read that like that and then be like, da-da-da-da. Okay, cool. The big cat jumped over the river. And just know that and be able to summarize it. It's a good skill to have. But that's not what we're talking about today. Although, no, books fall under this. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So where this came up from, Aaron, if you want to go ahead and explain where this came up from your side.
Oh, the whole Lizzo situation.
The whole Lizzo situation. I want to explain that for someone who
Which-
maybe isn't as in tune with culture as you.
Wow, that says a lot. No, so apparently what she had some new-ish song that came out called Girls or something, just GRRRLS, whatever. Good spelling. She had the word spaz in the song, and people didn't like that. So they gave her a bunch of hassle about it and were, I guess, probably tweeting at her that this is very offensive language. And then she, ended up changing the lyric in the song, which, yeah, okay. So it's just like, that's where I guess this whole idea of language stuff was brought back to my mind, because it just seems to be crazy now, like what we find as bad and what we don't, or what we find is acceptable versus what we find is bad. Kind of crazy to me.
Okay, why so? Why do you say it's kind of crazy to you?
Well,
Okay, so we have this example here of her using the word spaz, and just so you know what the lyric was originally,
yeah,
it was, "I'm a spaz, I'm about to knock somebody out."
Yeah.
And that's what was called out as an ableist slur, as they say. Um, do you know what ableist slur is?
an ableist slur.
Yeah. So let's see if we got that. Yeah. So what is an ableist
Ableist.
slur? Have you had any
I-
like
hold on.
corporate culture training on any of that or anything like that? You don't work in a big corporation, so you probably haven't.
No. I guess I can't. I don't know. No. What's an ableist slur
Okay.
in the definition?
So I'm trying to think how to put this.
Because enabling comes to mind for whatever reason when I'm thinking of that.
No.
An
So think
ableist slur.
like
An ableist slur.
think, because some people have disabilities, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Whether it's a disability because it's a medical condition, either it's a mental medical condition. I'm not saying
Physical.
that physical and mental, that they're one's better or worse than the other. Both are,
Can be
you
very
have
bad.
you have a disability, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. And so what it is essentially like even the word moron is considered ableist slur, because you're calling someone mentally deficient, and you're being against someone who is mentally, maybe they are, due to whether it's genetics or birth defect or
Right.
whatever,
Incident. Yeah.
some incident where they do have a mental deficiency, of some sort, and you just going around, "Oh, you moron," and then that makes
Somebody upset.
them feel bad, but you're just talking with your friends, or
Yeah.
insulting each other casually, which friends do as well,
Isn't
which is always
that
weird,
odd?
which
Yeah.
is always odd, but it
If
does
they're not
happen.
making fun of you, they don't like you.
Yeah. One of the earliest examples of this is the word nincompoop.
Nincompoop.
It
Wow,
was
I
used
haven't
as
heard
a
that in a
term
long
to
time.
describe the intellectually or mentally disabled. It's a reference to Latin "not of sound mind." And so that's one of the earliest ableist slurs, that's recorded all the way back to like 1676.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so that's when they say, their definition of it is it's common in language dating back to 1676 to describe the disabled, and that's what they're going back for. So I mean, and that's what they're getting kind of all, I guess you could say, up in arms about.
Right.
Where any word that might cause, things like that to happen. Like in this case, the word spaz, right?
Right.
It's short because there's a medical condition where people lose control of their muscles and they experience
Has
painful
spasms
movement,
and-
and all that. And so they're saying, oh, if you're calling someone a spaz, that's a slur towards against people who involuntarily experience the disability of having spasms.
Right.
And so that's what it is. And I listen to the whole statement before you respond.
No, yeah.
I get in a way and in essence why people would get upset with the term spaz, but at the same time, I think we're also getting so uptight about every single piece of language that we are causing ourselves to walk on eggshells around each other and not say
yeah.
what's really on our mind. I was reading an article today at lunch, and there was a comedian in the United States
Yeah.
that had the police called on them for a joke they said. The person got so upset about the joke that they called the police on him. And he, to the comedian's credit, he was going on and laughing about it and going, I never thought I'd be able to say what, and I'm not going to repeat what he said. He's like, I never thought I'd get to say what I said in a police report because the police actually investigated it because they had a
Yeah.
complaint. But then when they got the sworn affidavit and all that, they're like, there's nothing here. Why did this person call the police on us? So, I mean, we're at that point now where a defensive comedic joke.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, a comedic joke, which I would probably be like,
Right.
Okay, so I recently started watching a new show, Letterkenny.
Yeah.
It's about Canadian Hicks. Okay,
Yep.
half of that stuff on there, I am surprised made it up there. And I say that because Canada doesn't have, the First Amendment, doesn't have free speech, anything like that. And they do prosecute for quote unquote hate speech, however you
Right.
define it, because you have to define hate speech in a certain way.
Yep.
So I'm just like, I don't know how that show made it on Canada TV and how it's been on for 10 seasons.
Oh wow. I thought this was something new.
No, they've released like 10 seasons. They started back in like 2016,
Whoa.
something like that.
Yeah.
And they, a couple of years they've done 1 or 2 seasons a year. And it's just like, how the heck? Because, if they're going after Lizzo for saying, I'm a spaz, oh man, they would go after this TV show.
Left and right.
I was watching recently, and the only reason I remember this is because I'm looking at your computer screen and I see Landau and Crowder.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
And there was a 10-minute Landau comedy clip from a few years ago before he joined up with Crowder.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to this comedy thing and I'm like, wow, I know so many people that would get so offended by this and would be protesting at this nowadays if they heard it now.
Yeah.
Because it talked about, how he was moved into a rehab facility for essentially his alcoholism.
Yep.
And all that. And then his experience in there with his roommate who thought he was a werewolf.
Oh, no.
And the start of the clip, just if you look for it on YouTube, all I will say is this: it is rated way above PG-13. The clip,
Yeah.
in the what's going on there, and I just sat there and go, oh boy. And so you have that. You have then, this I'm a spaz, blah 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 thing, and I'm just like,
That's
okay.
upsetting.
yeah.
Which, I guess it's one of those things, and you've said before, the whole squeaky wheel gets the grease, whatever. I guess how many people are legitimately upset about this versus are the people that are offended by this just the small minority, and their their stuff is just getting put out the most kind of thing. Because I
Right.
can't imagine a majority of people actually being upset by this. But obviously it was enough to get Lizzo to change her lyric, which whatever, that's I mean she
Yeah,
does
okay,
what she
but
feels like she needs to do, but
how many is the question. And that's a legit question.
right.
You know, you have instances where one person complains and the company will cut their sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
Look, that's what happened with like the Daily Wire. They used to have
Oh.
a sponsorship with Henry's Razors.
Yeah.
One person on Twitter who had like 2 followers commented to Henry's Razors about how they were upset about it and they cut the sponsorship.
Like, what?
So what did they do in retaliation? Well, now they have Jeremy's Razors.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, and they have their own razor company now and all this other stuff where it just has that. But all it took was for one person. It didn't take that big of a thing. So it could have been as few as 1 people, it could have been, you know, hundreds of people. I honestly am not going to go to see Lizzo's Twitter because I'm sorry, I don't care to see her thing. You know,
No.
and at the same time you have that happening. And then you have other people, and I have no idea who this artist is, but I'll give him credit for one thing. He says, "You know what? I don't even know if I can read this right without." He goes, "I ain't never apologizing,"
Wow.
which is a double negative, but
I ain't never. So he's apologizing.
yeah, exactly. I was like, "What? What? I can't." His name is Joey Badass, is what he calls himself.
Nice.
I'll be honest, if you call yourself that, you probably aren't. It's
Right. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
but you're starting to see this kind of like this divide in culture from what I'm seeing, where you have some people who are saying we must bend the knee to every piece of wordage that anyone uses because it may or may not be offensive. And then you have this other part of the culture where it's just saying, you know what? I don't care what words you find offensive. I'm going to use them anyways.
Yeah.
And you have a few people in the middle. They're like, but let's just all get along.
Nope. Never happened.
But those let's just all get along people, they get bombarded and assaulted by the you must bend the knee people.
Yeah.
And the other side
mean,
just kind of leaves them alone. And
For the most part, there's still some. I'd imagine there's still some of those that would give the people in the middle a hard time. But
I look at it, I'm just like, I don't know how much longer as a culture, as a society that where we can keep on doing that. And
no.
and it's not like we're talking that, you know, these are big political issues of the day, you know.
Mhm.
We're talking simple things like that. We're talking simple words at times that yesterday meant one thing, but today means another thing. So therefore, we're gonna strike down your video off of YouTube and take it completely off.
Gonna have to.
Well, no, they already are doing that. That's the thing. They're already
Oh.
taking videos that
Oh.
are like 10 years old, right?
Right.
Words and phrases that were fine then, but now are reinterpreted under current cultural context, and then going back and saying, "Oh nope, you are offensive, and therefore we're striking your channel and taking you down." And I wish I could say I've only seen one example. I've seen multiple examples of people who all of a sudden their entire YouTube channel is in jeopardy of
Right,
being
because of old content.
because of old content that they then have to go and scrub. Now, I'm not talking about people who are saying like blatantly racist things or blatantly evil things or stuff like that,
No.
you know, or
Yeah.
blatantly derogatory things. I'm talking about words that have changed context and meaning or things that where maybe people weren't I guess you could say as upset about in the past. Now all of a sudden are like,
Yeah.
you will now suffer under our wrath for saying these words that no longer mean what we want them to say, now mean this new thing.
It's it's weird to me because it's why are we trying? I don't know. I think it's stupid how they're trying to, I don't know, I guess remove words from our vocabulary when it's what I'm trying to think of. It's like that whole picture perfect kind of thing. I don't know. For whatever reason, I'm thinking of it like that at the moment. Where it's like people post stuff on social media that they want everybody to see the good stuff or whatever. And you don't show any of the bad because it's like with all the stuff that people remove for like, if we're going to remove spaz now from our language, it's what else is what's going to be next kind of thing. Because how am I saying this now? Because you talk one-on-one with somebody, you're going to. It's the whole hypocritical stuff where it's like they'll talk however they want behind the scenes, but on the whole, like display to everybody else, they've got to crack down on these things that people are outraged about, and that's what I guess. But that's like politician stuff too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think this whole thing just leads to a slippery slope. And the other thing is, read other lyrics in the song. Like, of all things to be upset about, that should be the least.
Like for what, for example?
Oh, I was just looking at it. Oh, okay. I don't know where this is in the song. I don't know what verse, whatever. I don't care. But it says, "Let me take these earrings off and hit the bougie ratchet with my friends." Whoa, whatever. I'm gonna go Lorena Bobbitt on him so he can never F again. Now you can't F again, bro. Like, and we're upset about the word spaz? What? It's just so stupid to me.
So calls of violence.
It's okay in a song.
As long as you don't use the word spaz. Okay. I got it.
I just I don't understand any of this.
Like there's certain words I get where there has always been a very negative connotation with it. Like, like the R word.
R word. Oh, okay. I was thinking the N, but yeah, that too.
No. N word has always been racist. Let's be.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. You know, I find it crazy. Like you have someone like Cortez. What's her? What's Crazy Eye's name? Ocasio-Cortez
or something. Cortez.
Wait, I just use ableist language. They're crazy. No, just kidding. No, but yeah, Crazy Eyes or Ocasio-Cortez. I remember her talking one time, and I had to go. Do you understand your Hispanic roots?
Probably not,
because she was complaining about the word black in Spanish.
Negro.
Yeah. And how that's racist.
No.
I'm like, no, that's just Spanish for black. You could have a black shirt. You could have a black tie event. You can have a black car. You can have whatever.
That's just the word for black in Spanish.
It's not a racist thing. You can't reinterpret every single thing into the context of modern day America, where every word that we say is offensive to everyone else. Now, there's an argument to be said that if you know it's going to be offensive, you shouldn't do it. Okay, I get that argument.
Right.
Is that necessarily the best argument? I don't know 100%, to be honest, because we're reinterpreting language and phrases and ideas so much that it's gotten to the point where just saying certain ideas or beliefs that you hold due to your religion or your upbringing or whatever can be considered homophobic, hateful, blah, 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 blah. Keep adding down the list. And there's a difference between saying, I don't believe in X or Y, and saying, I hate a person who is X or Y.
Yes.
That is a big difference. I can disagree on those points all day long with a person who, they go like, I don't know. Let's go something innocuous here. I like sour beer. I go, I don't like it. I hate it. Me and them, we can disagree all day long about whether we like it or not. But if I go, I hate all people who
Hate this.
like sour
Or,
beers,
yeah.
that's a whole other taking a whole other level. That's then hating a person, which we are commanded not to
Not
in the
to
Bible,
do.
and that is not negotiable.
And that's just a silly reason to hate someone.
Yes, it is.
For
That-
that one specifically.
But-
yeah.
Anything else that we could talk about in that regard is just as silly.
Yeah.
I may disagree with a person, and they go, well, I'm gay, whatever. That's my lifestyle that you're going to live. We can disagree on that all day and night,
Yeah.
as long as it never gets to the point of me ever saying, I hate them because.
Because of this. Yeah.
That's the difference. And we've gone with the language and saying, as soon as you say one of these forbidden words,
Mm-hmm.
that's like saying you hate this person because da 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 da. In some of these words, okay, like I said, the R word, I get it. Okay.
I mean,
But like blind, deaf,
wait, these are offensive words?
yes. They're considered ableist language,
But what?
just the same as like spaz was.
Why?
You know,
What do you? What you just say? Oh, this person can't see.
you say visually impaired or
So what is-
audibly impaired, something like that. So that's where the language is at now at this point.
Wow.
Now, how do you move forward with that? How do you have things like comedy with that? How do you continue in this society with that?
I mean, the thing. Obviously, so Lizzo changed her lyric in the song.
Right?
All right, cool, whatever. But like, there's so many songs by bands that I like the band, or at least I like their music. But when it comes to some of their lyrics, I'm like, well, I don't like that song. I don't listen to it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's one of those things. It's like you don't have. Even though I've liked, there was a song today that I really enjoy the song, but then I was like, wait a minute, is he saying what I think he's saying? And then I looked at the lyrics. I was like, oh wow. I was like, I don't agree with that, and I don't like that. Well, I'm taking that out of my library.
Right.
So it's
And like you pointed out, the rest of the lyrics of that song,
Yeah.
I think greatly outweigh the
one.
use of the word spaz.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Now obviously, and this is my thought on this. You can disagree or agree, whatever. I don't care.
I hate it. I'm
Okay.
just kidding.
You can be whatever, however you want to do it. Okay.
I don't hate you.
If I personally knew someone who, like, let's say, I knew you, right?
Right.
And I was like, well, Aaron has a little bit of insanity issue at times. I would avoid using the word insane around you out of respect, right? Why are you giving me
Okay.
that stare for?
Thinking I'm insane. I mean, I
I'm
agree.
just
but...
giving an example, okay?
No, I know.
As I said, I would avoid
Yes.
using that word around you, to out of respect to not,
Right.
trigger you or cause you to be depressed or whatever, right? That doesn't necessarily mean I would remove that fully from my
Your vocabulary.
vocabulary. In fact, I think I used that at work this past week. I was like, I can't believe how insane this vendor is with some of these things that are going on.
Yeah.
And
Which as far as insane goes, like I've heard that used in a good one and in a good way and a bad way.
but apparently it's only bad.
Oh.
Just know that. But that's what I'm getting at.
Oh.
We start policing the language like that, and all of a sudden it's just going to be nothing.
You
The
can't say anything.
comedians, as much as some of them personally cross the line,
Oh,
on,
right.
some of the stuff. But that's where a lot of comedians go to. You have those classic comical bits of like the 7 words you can never say on TV. That's a classic uh, comedy bit.
Huh.
Now, obviously, they would be censored because, they're not, I guess what you could say, PG words that you could always
Right.
use.
Yeah.
George Carlin always sort of did that. Comedians would push the envelope.
Yeah.
Comedians would push the envelope and talk around things and say things without using the actual word. And then when they actually do use the word, you're like, I can't believe they actually said that. But while they're not using it, it's like, oh,
Oh,
okay,
it's okay. Yeah,
it's
it's fine.
okay. I'm fine with that. Listening to that, people are fine with listening about her going Lorena Bobbitt on someone.
Yeah. Yeah, want to say what that is?
Ooh, yeah. For those who don't know what Lorena Bobbitt being someone means, you know what that means, right?
You say it. I don't want to say it.
But you do know what it means, right?
Yes.
What does it mean?
He can't use it anymore
Why can't he use it?
because it's not there anymore.
That's right. Lorena Bobbitt cut
Yes.
off her husband's parts.
Yes.
She was a little crazy. Maybe a little insane even. Made him lame. At least she didn't go after his ears or his eyes. Otherwise, he'd be blind and deaf.
And just worst of all, gosh,
Yep.
that'd be terrible. Oh my gosh. This is incredibly offensive.
It is. And the thing is, like, I remember we were somewhere recently and someone was like, oh, I can use the R word because I've had issues in the past. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, can you though? And then I look at the double standard of our language and our culture and I go, maybe. I can't use the N word, but I know a lot of people who could and do in their music. They get a pass. I look at myself and go, if Aaron called me a spick, I would get upset, but I can say it.
I've never even heard that before.
Derogatory term for Mexicans.
Yes. Wow.
Spick. And then I kind of think of that. I was like, we kind of give our own culture a pass if it's words that we attribute to ourselves.
Right.
Now, I will say that out of joking. I will say every Mexican stereotype under the sun, jokingly and entertainingly, because I find it personally hilarious
Right.
how uncomfortable it makes white people.
Oh.
Just that's just a personal little insight into me right there. I will say those things just to see how uncomfortable white people around me get when I say that. And they just kind of sit there and go, can I say something about this? Because all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, but he's, ooh.
Oh man.
But I mean, our language is getting, like I said, back to the point, so crazy that these are examples of article headlines that they go, nope, these can't be article headlines. They go the big old no, bad boy.
Can't use that word.
Ready?
No.
Stop sending me lame texts. That's an article. They go, nope, you can't use the word lame. How to tell you're becoming the lame friend. Quit your lame job and get a life.
That's wow.
Because lame is offensive, apparently.
Yeah.
Here's some more articles, headlines that would be banned in their wonderful utopia. Sterile language. I don't even know what words I'd be able to use in a sterile language, by the way. That would be just so sad.
You just have to say so much more to get to a word that you could just use to get straight to the point.
He drank his own pee and 34 other insane J.D. Salinger facts.
So insane is the bad part.
Yep.
Not the GD, but the insane.
No, J.D.
Oh, I thought you said GD.
Nope,
my
JD.
bad. JD. Oh.
The 9 most insane moments of the Golden Globes. 11 totally insane scientific theories people used to believe were true.
Whoa.
8 crazy things every 20-something is guilty of.
Crazy is bad. It really is.
Mm-hmm. Stop sleeping with dumb people. Here's how to stop them.
but okay, so dumb is obviously the bad one in there, right?
Yes.
Please, okay. So then, I mean, you just can't say anything bad about people. I feel, or stuff. You can't say bad words, even if something is bad. It's like you can't say that, or because stupid would be offensive, wouldn't it?
Well, so they say instead of saying crazy, here's some words you can try: illogical, irrational, misleading, lying, not thinking, incapable of critical thinking, asshat, dipshit, irrelevant, rationalizing. I'm sitting here going, I think this list is worse.
What? Especially at the end. What?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Your writing will be more descriptive if you use the list above.
No.
But you'll offend the collateral damage of offending innocent people.
I can't. Wow. I feel it just all depends on, I guess, well, one, the context of the situation.
See,
And what word best describes what is it's being said about?
but here's the best part of this.
No.
Here's the best part. They're talking about don't use these words, don't use crazy, blah blah blah, right? Do you want to guess what their article was entitled? 15 crazy examples of insanely ableist language.
So they were
Yep, they're using the
ruining it from the get-go. You can't take them seriously then.
Yep.
Is that the Babylon Bee or something?
No, it wasn't.
Oh my gosh.
It was actually a very serious article.
Oh my gosh. I don't understand. And how do we get so worked up about stuff like that, but then allow so much other junk to be said?
We're more concerned about how everyone is feeling.
Yeah.
Than we are about the actual facts of things.
How do you think that one dude that's apparently going to be Lorena Bobbitt is feeling hearing that? Can't imagine he'd be feeling too good hearing that.
I have a comment, but I'm keeping it to myself because I do not want it recorded anywhere.
Okay. You gotta tell me after then.
You know, so
But
yeah, how do you avoid that, right? You know,
you don't?
I'll tell you what I do. This is what I do.
What?
This is what I personally do. Is I continue using the language I do unless, and like I said, unless I know, specifically that
Right.
it may trigger someone.
Yes.
Outside of that, I keep my language where it is. And the reason I do is in American culture and context, we understand what it means. If I tell you I'm feeling so crippled by my work right now, that gives you a certain context about how overwhelming it is and how powerless I feel with it and all that.
Mm-hmm.
If I go, I'm busy, that doesn't tell you as much.
It takes away from how intense it actually might be.
So there is,
unless you say insanely busy.
Well, maybe I'm insanely crippled.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe I'm insanely crazy crippled by my workload.
I'm glad I don't have your job.
I'm not. But what I'm saying is, if I say something like that, you understand what it is.
Right.
I'm not trying to say that to be mean.
Right.
I'm not going, Aaron, you blah. I'm not calling you that. I'm saying my work is.
You mean you're not like, you don't have a message like in between the lines using that word and you're.
Trust me, I am a simple man. I have simple pleasures in life, and I do not have time to do undertoned innuendos underneath all my wording. I don't have the energy or the time or the brain capacity to do that.
You might have the brain capacity. But...
No, my brain is spent on other things. I'm not going to spend time like, what words could I say that would make Aaron second guess everything about himself and make him sit up at night questioning the amount of hatred and the amount of just pure disrespect I have for him. No, You know, I'm going to be an idiot at times, and I'm going to say something that I don't mean to say, but at the same time, I'm going to recognize we're probably a little too sensitive here in America.
Oh, we have had it too good for too long that if these are issues that we're having now, oh boy.
You know, I
Whoa.
look at it this way. You know, when Trump was elected and just all the crying in the streets and all that going on, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
the memes from all that, it just showed how sad we are in America at times.
Uh-huh.
And it's also showing that, you know, any little thing, it's like, oh no, this is an attack and it's going to kill us and it's the end of the world. I have to wonder if something actually happened. Okay, I don't want this, but like Russia actually nuked us. Okay,
Oh,
and we're instantly basically transported to Fallout land. People who are offended by every little perceived slight are not going to survive that long.
no. Oh, okay. If Americans are going to have to like learn how to survive without being assisted with everything that we're assisted with, so many of us are screwed.
And can you imagine?
I wouldn't survive having to be a man in the woods. And what?
I was laughing to myself. Can you imagine how many you know, blondes and, you know, high school girls are gonna just freak out when they find out no more Starbucks?
Oh, and Instagram's probably going to be down,
And Twitter is
and-
only in Russian.
they're going to have a meltdown. They won't be able to function,
I know, but
which is funny but scary at the same time and sad.
it is sad as well. But it's also sad that a word is so I don't want to say problematic, but so powerful
Right.
that it's able to cause adults to break down and get so upset where they start issuing death threats to people over words.
Whew. Yeah.
You know, it's one thing to call out Liz, whatever her name is, Lizzo,
Yeah.
Rizzo,
Lizzo,
Tizzo,
Rizzo,
Wizzo, Crazo, whatever her name is. It's one thing to call her out for using a word that people don't like, spaz, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole other thing when people say word or words that you don't like and then to issue death threats against them, which
That's very dramatic. Yeah.
has
which people are.
become very much the norm. You have Twitter accounts like Libs of TikTok, which is just
jeez.
entertaining, right?
Mm-hmm.
But recently, because it's a female that runs the account actually, has been receiving death threat after death threat after death threat after death threat, you know, for the various videos that she posts and, you know, it's kind of exposes some of the crazy that's going out there, right?
Yeah.
And it was scary kind of to watch as she's reporting all these death threats and nothing's happening with them. Okay, it's one thing to say, I don't like the word you're saying or the words, or I'm offended by it. It's a whole other thing to call for a person's death over word or words.
Or video stuff, and
Yep.
just don't watch it.
And to be fair, Twitter was doing nothing about it. And then Elon goes, so Twitter. and
Yeah, what's going on with this?
all of a sudden, because, you know, he's in the process of buying them.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, all those people got banned after Elon got involved in that. But it's just, it blows my mind that people get so offended by words that they come to the point where it's, nope, we're going to kill them now.
Yep. They go to extreme measures.
You know, look, we had the leaked, you know, opinion about Roe versus Wade.
Yeah.
And look, that guy flew from out of state to Kavanaugh's home to kill him. And it wasn't just kill, like he was gonna like kidnap him. He had like zip ties and all that to kidnap him. And thankfully, he turned himself into the police.
Yeah, which
It was
so
weird.
bizarre to me.
It's so bizarre. I know it's weird. The whole situation's weird, but I mean, there we have people so upset about thoughts and dissenting opinions from your own and words. It's like we're losing the very heart and soul of who we are in
Oh, yeah.
America. Now, I may disagree with someone, thinking of someone very particular right now. I may disagree with him fully, 100% on a lot of stuff, but darn it, I will defend his right to have that opinion as bad as it is.
Yeah.
I will defend the crazy person's right to sit there and go, "You use the word crazy." As much as I may disagree with it. I will defend the screaming person's right to protest peacefully as much as I go, "Really? Really? You're screaming and crying over a person?"
Yeah. Of course.
I will defend those people's rights because that is a right that we have enshrined in the Constitution, and I'm grateful that we do.
For now.
Yeah, I know. We're not. Canada doesn't have that, and therefore, it's a lot easier to prosecute people for speech up there than it is down here in the States. Thankfully, down here in the States, the only speech that isn't protected is stuff that's like a threat or stuff that is going to cause immediate harm. But oh no, you say an offensive word. Guess what? Sorry, Buttercup. That's protected.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
At least for now.
That's the thing. Yeah, at least for now.
And that's why I'm just like, I'm glad that we have that First Amendment enshrined there, and that it is that important that it is the First Amendment, and that we do keep that freedom of speech. Now, as they say, freedom of speech, not freedom of consequences. Yes, I agree with that. If you say something offensive, and I go, "Yeah, you're right to say that," but man, you're an idiot. I'm just gonna whatever block you or ignore you from now on or whatever.
Yeah.
That is perfectly within a private citizen's or a private company's right to do.
Agreed. You can do that. It's fine.
Is it though?
Or is it not?
So any comments, concerns, questions on Lizzo?
I have a lot of concerns.
What are your concerns?
Not on her. I guess the thing, and I do agree with what you were saying earlier, where with you're in a group of people and that some specific word or maybe even like topic is very sensitive to them, I'll avoid it out of respect for them. But if I know the people I'm with and I know what they're okay with, and it's not something that is just outright wrong, then I'll say whatever it is I want to say. But the other thing, going off the Twitter stuff with the whole Elon Musk, now these people being banned that are making these threats, it's accountability is another thing that, gosh, is just not had. And that's something we definitely need. Well, obviously worldwide, but in this country, wow, I can't speak. And that's just another thing that, after hearing that, another potential topic right there.
Oh, we've covered accountability a few times now, but
yeah.
But I see what you're saying in the context of what you're describing, though, which is different.
So there's just, man, other than that, yeah, it's the whole sticks and stones may break my bones, but was it words? Is it words will never hurt me or shall not hurt me kind of
Words
thing?
will never hurt me.
Yeah, that's a load of crap now.
Yeah, I remember learning that, all the time in elementary school, and we would say that all the time. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.